everybody. Good morning. Welcome to the show. The show before the show. Hey, Troy. Hey, Ben. Derek. Karen. Good morning to you. Lizzie. Who else do we have there? Kimberly, Lizzie, Troy, Karen. Appreciate everybody jumping in this morning. Let's see, Schmitz. Hey, Joe, do you see that picture I sent you of the presidential hopeful?
Which one?
I sent you. Do you see him now?
Did you just send it?
It's there. You'll see him. A Republican presidential hopeful. Good morning to you, Trisha, Kathleen. I guess we'll say it now because she was the first to say it here, I guess. Megan says, good morning and happy birthday, Pro Joe.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Pro Joe.
To do that.
Thank you.
Helen Allen, good morning. Derek, Trisha. Yes, we missed you too yesterday. We're but glad to be back. Lizzie's husband, Dave's kind of cool.
You know, I'm going to keep him.
No, he has really, really tried to help this show out a lot. I'm grateful for him. I like him. He can hang around.
He can hang around. You know, we'll let him live another day.
I think Pro Joe likes him too.
Yeah, David likes Pro Joe too.
He did everything that I didn't want to do yesterday.
That's the life of David, is he does everything nobody else wants to do. Well, and he doesn't with a smile.
No,
Vic knows the frustration of sitting on the phone with AT&T. So that's basically what David did. Was he had very strong patience yesterday.
And he's very forceful.
Does that say something about Lizzie?
Way. Yeah, you have to be, I guess. I guess you
says
have
something
to,
about me too. I need to calm.
You have to. David is a saint. He's raised 5 kids, and all 5 of his kids like him.
Do they really?
Yeah, that and today. Now maybe tomorrow they won't all like him.
I could see that. Yes, it's Pro Joe's birthday. Do you want to tell us what birthday it is or not?
49. No, I'm 50.
Oh,
big 5-0.
Big 5-0.
Yeah, overrated. Been there, done that.
Your 50s are going to be your best yet.
Hey, we always remind people that they can send us stars.
Truth.
When they like and follow. Jessica says, I guess this is a question for you, Lizzie, as I still learn that. How the heck do you send more than 99 cents? There was no prompt to send more.
I think once you do.
Is that on stars?
Yeah, there's okay, so I'm going to put this up here and all the way here on the end where there's a comment section, it says star. You just press it. And usually the first time, I think that you can only give 99 cents. I think that's how it works. And then after that, you can give whatever you want.
We haven't asked for help or donations because I wanted to wait until we can do a raffle.
Yeah.
We're going to do a raffle, but we're in the process of working it with charity. You have to, we've been looking into this.
Yes. Yes.
It's a really cool idea. We're grateful for people in the past who have donated. That's why we've just been saying stars, that sort of thing. Like, subscribe, share the show. Because I'd hate to see somebody donate and then we do a raffle. Like, I just donated.
I just donated. And the raffle's going to be
Donate
great.
again.
I cannot wait to do the raffle. It's going to be fun.
Robert Peterball says, you're a Virgo man, Pro Joe. We relate. Whatever that means.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not an astrology type, but I appreciate that.
You know what, Joe? There is something to that. Like my mom used to always be really big in it, and I kind of scoffed it. But it's funny. My daughter and my daughter-in-law are the closest alike than anyone else in our family, and they have the exact same birthday, and of course, the same astrology.
It can happen, and it can
be
also
a coincidence,
happen too.
But yeah, I don't know if it's true.
Good afternoon, Angie and Amy, Kim, Bindi, Robert, Peterball.
Amy made it live. She's been listening.
Awesome. Hi, Amy. Oh, hold on to your stars. Buy some merch coming soon.
That's true too. Yeah.
Derek, Derek, you never got back to me on that page I sent you. Was that? I know you were. I've had a lot going on. That was 2 nights ago, I think. Just let me know. Never thought that getting approved to sell merchandise.
I know it's kind of
in
a big
the state
deal.
of Missouri.
Yeah.
Getting a sales tax ID.
I love the state
would
of Missouri.
Be so difficult.
Dang, the DMV's hard. I mean,
it's in every state. It's in every state.
Oh, I know.
It's the same way in Michigan. When I was there, I thought it would have been easier. I've lived in Illinois, Missouri, Oklahoma. Done it in Kansas, Michigan. It's not good anywhere. You've lived
a lot of places.
Jay had major show withdrawals yesterday. So did we. Derek says, yes, that application you sent me is the correct one. All right. Well, let me know what I need to do, Derek, to get our merch up and flying. All right. We have Lindi Williford. Some people in the St. Louis area know her, but she has a message for people nationally. It's just so sad to see what's happening to our public school system, and not just public school system. There's a lot of forces at play within Christian schools as well across the country when it comes to certain people trying to dictate and get into things that aren't just the ABCs and the math, so to speak, the science, the basics, getting into social issues and all this other crap that we don't need. Well, it's happening in the St. Louis area so much to the effect that you've got school board members now winning positions, being voted in, and then being strong-armed by presidents of school boards. Just total crap. It's happening. It's happening everywhere. Lindy's going to give an account. A lot of people don't want to talk about what's happening in the Wentzville area publicly.
Yeah, it's
Lindy's
really
a concerned
bad.
parent that's going to talk about it. She's been following it. Cindy Giordano got me connected with a group as well. I've been reading and trying to catch up on all of that stuff.
Good.
This isn't the first time it's been going on. Jessica says, I'm so technically challenged. It's embarrassing. Don't worry. There's some things that trust me, I'm learning.
Me too.
All right, Projo, you want to start the show then? I guess we can go ahead and start. We got a lot to get to today, before we do, okay, I'm good.
All right, let's do it.
Hey guys, welcome in. CancelThisShow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and Projo. Happy birthday to Projo. It's his birthday. Congratulations, my friend.
Thank you.
Let me guess. You have no plans tonight?
I don't, not tonight, but I do have somebody coming in this weekend.
Yeah, baby.
Woo, he's got some hot plans this weekend.
Some Florida sunshines coming your way.
I love it.
I'm sorry, man.
You had to do that.
Am I right?
You are right.
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
Some Florida sunshine heading north for Projo for his birthday. It's always cool. Over the years, anybody tell you who you share your birthday with? Like famous people, icons, anything crazy happened on that day? I haven't had a chance to look up. I just found out it was your birthday because you kept it kind of quiet. I was on a treadmill this morning. I was actually on a Stairmaster when I found out it was your birthday.
I have it hidden on Facebook. I'm trying not to get the recognition today.
Right.
Yeah, but it's a big day. It's your 50th. You said it was fine that we said it. Have you ever seen anything when it comes to people who share the same birthday as you?
Actually,
all I know is you're a Virgo.
My children's mother is the same birthday as mine.
Okay.
So it's her birthday as well, by the way. Happy birthday, Diane.
Oh, well, that's nice of you.
Happy birthday, Diane.
Is she a celebrity?
No.
Okay. I was just making sure. I was trying to find out. Have you ever seen any celebrities, famous people? Because it's an interesting day, September 31st.
There are some important things that happened today. I cannot remember for the life of me, though. So I'm sure,
You're the last day of the month, like August 31st. I mean, that's the last day before people consider it fall. So you're still a ray of summer sunshine.
If you say so.
Yes.
Oh, you are.
You are. You certainly are.
You got it. Okay, my friend, before we get into it, today's birthdays. Chris Tucker. I like Chris Tucker. 52. You guys can remind me of each other.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me and Chris Tucker. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Former wrestler, Jeff Hardy. So that's kind of cool, right? So there you go. You had a couple there.
Okay.
There's a couple, at least the people that I know. I mean, there may be there's a lot of people. I just don't know. You know what's funny? When I look at like the famous birthdays, this is how life has changed, everybody. Seriously, I'm looking and it goes from actors and singers to, this is what blows my mind. YouTube star, Instagram star, TikTok star, Instagram star, reality star, YouTube star, YouTube star, YouTube star, YouTube star, Clubhouse star. What's a Clubhouse star? YouTube star, Instagram star, YouTube star, TikTok star. I mean, all the way down look at, that's crazy. Richard Gere, 73 too. There you go. Oh, and Brittany Mahomes, Patrick Mahomes' wife. It's her birthday today too. They all share the same birthday with Projo. Who would ever thought that TikTok stars, Instagram stars, YouTube stars would be listed?
That's funny. That really is funny.
Their birthdays are being listed on national websites as famous birthdays. That shows you how the world has changed. It shows you how this whole medium, you don't watch local news anymore. You don't watch world news. You watch podcasts. You get so much content. You get interesting information. You get all sides of a story. You can, and there's millions of podcasts. There's millions of YouTube channels. It's all out there. It's literally all out there for you. Now, it's easier said than done to go out and do something successful and to make it work and to have the money that you need to make it work. But interesting enough. Linda says only 30 days in September. I think,
because his birthday's August 31st.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was losing my mind.
You are losing your mind.
That's people are behind the scenes now. It's like all over the place. Thank you, Linda. You got to correct me, Lizzie, when I say that stuff.
Well, but I hate to correct people. The listeners,
Lizzie, if I'm saying dumbass stuff, tell me to stop.
Okay, and that'll be great. Okay, Vic, you're being a dumbass. His birthday's August the 31st, not September the 31st.
What's Mitch Vic?
Mitch Vic?
Oh, Mitch. Yeah, we're going to get it.
Yes. Oh, yeah, you had a Mitch moment.
Well, I'm not freezing. I'm just saying, no, I'm having more of a Biden moment. I'm just saying stupid shit. Excuse my language. I'm sorry.
I think you're having more of a Ron DeSantis moment, really.
No. Well, sure. You know what? Let's get into that as we welcome everybody into the show. Have we started the show yet?
Yeah, we're in the show. We're actually into the show.
Okay, let me forget. First thing we got to do, we got to show the commercials. Our partners, please check out all of our partners. If you know of anybody that we can partner with, we need it. We want to continue to do what we're doing. Any businesses, try us out for a month or 2 months. If you know of anybody, let us know. That can be local or national. As you know, we're doing that and reaching a lot of people. We have great numbers, trending great numbers, and it's all because of you guys jumping in. But first, check out our sponsors, our advertisers here, just a few of them. And if you need any of their products, let them know. You heard about them on canceltheshow.com.
House has the largest selection of solid wood with the hottest new styles. Real furniture that's built to last, like our solid bedrooms, living rooms, and dining from Kincaid. Our volume enables us to save you a lot of money, especially during our solid wood sale. Plus, get free financing, fast free delivery, and free in-home design. So for solid wood, sweet styles, and solid service since 1964, shop over 3 football fields of furniture at Carroll House, because you like nice things.
Jonathan, what does make Rockwood so special?
Rockwood, we carbonize it higher than anybody else does. So we're cooking out everything that produces ash, smoke, anything like that. It gives you a lot more control over the temperature, a lot more control over the fire, and it's 100% Missouri product.
All right, where can people get it?
It's 100-plus locations around St. Louis, any Deerberg, Straub's, meat markets, wine and cheese stores, hardware stores, you name it, we're around St. Louis. Just check the website.
And good charcoal should be able to break apart your hands like
absolutely,
does,
yeah.
right?
If you can't break it apart by hand, it's not charcoal yet. It's still wood. They didn't do the job, so make sure it can break apart by hand.
All right, get your rockwood charcoal.
Marco, wait. What? No response? Hi, I'm Curtis Barks with Complete Auto Body and Repair, offering full service and auto repair to St. Louis and St. Charles. We are looking for someone to say polo. That's right, we are hiring. We want you now. If you would like to work in a well-paying environment, then you owe it to yourself to stop by one of our 6 Complete Auto Body and Repair locations. Will you help me find that missing person? Please call me directly at 636-488-HIRE. That's right, 636-488-4473.
Dad, and service.
Oh yeah, and service.
He fixes cars.
Attention, anyone who served, lived, or worked at Marine Corps Base Camp Lejeune between 1953 and 1987. Camp Lejeune's drinking water was dangerously toxic, and base personnel and their families have since suffered cancer and other illnesses. If you or a loved one spent time at Camp Lejeune and were diagnosed with cancer, you may be eligible for significant compensation. Call the Driscoll firm now. Consultations are free, and you won't pay a fee unless we get you the money you deserve. 1-800-805-4800.
Hey guys, welcome back to the show. Vic Faust, Lizzie Sparks, Projo. We appreciate you jumping in every day with us here, 8 to 10 a.m. Central, all the time on our website, canceltheshow.com. We cover it all: news headlines, politics, cancel culture, education, entertainment, birthdays, as of today, I guess.
Yes.
With Projo, and anything else that's going on. We're a nationally based show. We're based out of the St. Louis area, for those who don't know. So we try to keep it national, things that apply to everybody around the country. But if there's something from our local standpoint, we'll bring it up. But most of the crap that happens in St. Louis seems to affect the country anyway, or the things that are here from a local standpoint are very easily nationalized because that just goes on, including a story today about Vivek Ramaswamy. There's a restaurant in St. Louis that canceled them.
Unreal.
I hate this, but I love it because it's great information to talk about. We're going to get into that in just a little bit. Blows my effing mind. And the worst part about this is it used to be my favorite restaurant in all of St. Louis. There's your teaser. And now Vic is put in a dilemma when I can afford to go to that restaurant again. If Vic's going to go to that restaurant again.
Did you say there's a video of this?
No, there was a picture of that candidate.
Okay, I got it. All right.
Vivek Ramaswamy. He's literally been canceled in St. Louis.
That is crazy.
I know, and wait till you hear the reason why. Oh, you know what? Let's just freaking do the story. We'll do this. No, we'll do the story. Vivek's up. Okay, you know who that is. That's Vivek Ramaswamy. Arguably won the first debate, although Fox News will tell you Ron DeSantis did because he's their candidate that they're pushing forward. It's ironic, though, as we look at Vivek Ramaswamy, since that debate, his popularity the morning after has been dropping. And I think we all know why, right? Because information started to get out, and he admitted that he took George Soros money for a scholarship. He made millions of dollars on a drug that did not work, and he borrowed money to start that company, made millions, did not work, went defunct. He doesn't have a voting record. His debate quotes were starting to sound a lot like President Obama's. Whether this is fair or not, it's what happens when you step into the spotlight for political office. If it's local, national, international, it sucks. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. That's what it is. It's not right. It's not fair. It's not just. It's politics. And people start to come after you in a big manner. What are you going to say, buddy?
Just because he doesn't have a voting record is one of the that's like one of the main reasons, because I'd like to see where he comes from. And there's no record of it.
You mean like a missing birth certificate?
Well, yeah, that too, yeah.
I mean, it seems very
Barack
similar.
Obama.
Yeah. Barack Obama.
Just a skinny guy here with a funny name. Oh, we heard that before. Where did we hear that? Anyway, but he's still running as a conservative. He has still had some good stuff out there. He has put out that Donald Trump is the best president of the 21st century. He doesn't want illegals in this country. He doesn't want illegals voting. He wants every American to be able to take a sip. I mean, a lot of this stuff sounds cool, may not work, may not actually ever be applied. But there's no doubt what he is portraying is a strong conservative message. Outside of the fact of Israel, he did not want to come
outside of the fact.
But anyway, at the debate, what you heard was a strong conservative man promoting Donald Trump.
Yes.
Well, there was a group in the St. Louis area that was trying to hold a Ramaswamy, and this is so bizarre, fundraiser at Olive and Oak.
That's in Webster Groves, right?
It's in Webster Groves, and that should tell you everything you need to know.
Betcha.
Now, I'm sorry. I know at least one conservative family that lives in Webster Groves or considers themselves not to be a crazed lunatic to the far, far, far progressive left. If you drive through Webster Groves, you will see what I see. Even to this day, BLM signs all over front yards, despite all of the fact that we have seen BLM screw people over, money not go towards causes or actually helping African Americans who need help. After the leaders of BLM have been found to be corrupt, buying mansions and houses all over the country, you'll still find BLM posters all over the place. It's just a hardcore left area, and that's fine. Webster can be however they want to be. That's their deal. Okay. Well, Olive and Oak sits in downtown Webster. And it happens to be one of my favorite restaurants throughout the Missouri area on planet. I just love it. Love the vibe, love the food. They have the best French fries I have ever had.
Really?
They have like cream inside the French fries.
Huh, I've never had them.
Now I'm propping it up, and they had an amazing roast beef sandwich. But damn you, Olive and Oak. The event was booked as a private event for Vivek Ramaswamy. This in the St. Louis area. Webster Groves is a suburb. But then it was promoted publicly. Management said they don't accommodate now public fundraisers out of nowhere, which is interesting. I'm like, oh, really? So they're going to do that? Well, they came back and then said that they're not going to have Vivek Ramaswamy there because what he stands for is not what most of their community or most of their staff stands for.
So they really went there.
They canceled him. They canceled Vivek Ramaswamy. Olive and Oak in Webster Groves, which is a phenomenal restaurant. I'm fair. You guys may hate me for being fair, but I try to be open-minded to be fair. It is an amazing restaurant to me and to many people that I know. Came out publicly and said that. Now, maybe they don't want to get involved in politics, and if that's it, fair. But to come out and say that we don't stand for what he stands for, you didn't just put your toes in the water. You did a cannonball.
Yeah.
You took a side, 100%.
You took a side. And I know that a lot of restaurant workers tend to be leaning to the left. And I'm not saying them all, but they tend to.
How is that?
I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I want to know your logic on that.
I don't know if that's, teach me that because I wouldn't have known that.
We owned a restaurant for a while and I was very surprised about that.
Of course, you guys owned a restaurant too.
We did. And it was in O'Fallon. And so we really thought that, okay, we can open it up and have conservative values or whatever, but to find anyone, I can't speak for all over, but my son also is a chef. He isn't anymore, but he was. And so that was his dream. And all the employees had a problem with our conservative take because in the lobby, we wanted to put up American flags and all of that. They just put their noses up right in O'Fallon, Missouri. Now, granted, not everyone, that worked there, lived there, but it was like my son says, Mom, it's a very liberal occupation. It shouldn't have to be, but it tends to be.
I would have never guessed that. I know kitchens that are 100% Donald Trump.
Yeah. You would hope so.
So I think the kitchen staff might actually be the right leaning, and I think that the front of house, the servers, and I think those are.
I could agree with that
because most of those are struggling actors and people in the arts. So.
Yes, you're exactly right. That's a very good analogy of that.
Okay, Olive and Oak's quote, and they put this on Instagram, by the way. It has recently come to light that a contract for a private event would be a fundraiser here for a current political candidate. Our team did not fund, donate, or support this event, and it has since been canceled by our court.
Well, you know what Tara's saying on the chat line?
It also said that Ramaswamy did not represent a balance of viewpoints.
Well, here's something. Tara's saying on the chat line, that same place hosted a drag queen show.
Here we go. Yeah, that's an issue. I was waiting.
Yeah, so that kind of tells you right off the bat the kind of place it is. So I'm not saying that every drag queen leans to the left, but if it walks like a duck and it quacks like a duck, it's a duck.
Yeah, gosh. Oh, my gosh. We still got, okay, we're going to continue to talk about this coming up on the show. You won't want to miss this sound. By the way, Donald Trump, Tucker Carlson, now the most watched interview of all time. In the history of interviews, the most watched. Donald Trump, you'll hear from him talking about it. KJP, White House Press Secretary, talking about how a new cupcake's coming and how it's still the best way to treat COVID. Gee, thanks. We were going to play it yesterday. If you haven't heard the sound, Gold Star Dad, Mark Schmidt. So we just had on the show, what was it, 2 weeks ago?
Yes.
He buried President Biden in Congress, congressional hearings. You said he was out with Donald Trump last night?
Yes, he went to dinner. Him and Jacqueline, his wife, went to New Jersey and had dinner with Dr. Donald Trump. Dr. Trump. That actually sounds good.
Dr. Donald. So we'll get into Mark Schmidt. You won't want to miss that sound, which we had there as well. Just blows my mind. There's also a conservative beer now that's out there. I don't know. We'll do whatever we can to promote it. If anybody knows them, let them know about us too. Okay, getting back to this Vivek quote. This whole situation at Olive and Oak in the St. Louis area. They said that, let me see. The owner of Olive and Oak first told Channel 4 that he would not comment beyond the social media post. However, staff at the restaurant said they had felt that the event had been misrepresented to them when the space was booked. Why do they have a say in what comes in and what comes out of the restaurant? Their staff.
Right.
Management had not realized that the event would be a high-profile political campaign fundraiser. So drag shows are allowed, but a political candidate who is not for drag shows would not be allowed. I'm just trying to make sure I have all my ducks in a row to understand all the facts.
Well, and like towns like Webster Grove that still have their BLM signs and all of that.
Like all over the place.
Everywhere. And they're so into that because they're typically the white liberal, and you got to watch out for a white liberal. There's nobody worse. No lie.
Maybe a white progressive liberal.
Okay, there you go.
Is that what you're getting at?
That's what I'm getting. I'm not saying a white Democrat. I'm just saying a white liberal. If you're a black person.
I'll give you that. You know why? Because even Scott Rosenblum, who is a hardcore Democrat, hates the progressive part of his party.
Yes.
Michael Kelly, who we've had on the show, St. Louis political activist, hates the progressive part of his show.
Yeah.
Jane Duker, hardcore Democrat, hates the progressive part of her party, says it's ruining the Democrat Party.
It absolutely is.
So I get what you're saying from that standpoint. Here's what they went on to say. Management had not realized that the event would be a high-profile political campaign fundraiser. They went on to say that after the flyer began circulating, businesses had also received several calls questioning the event.
Oh, dear.
Do you not have anything better to do with your time than to try? So that would be the same as Joe Biden coming to St. Charles County or Jefferson County or couple parts, just a few small parts of St. Louis County and not being allowed to come and run for president.
I'm going to call them after the show and tell them that I would like to have a drag queen show and I would like to involve children and see what they say, because people are saying on the chat line that they invited children at their drag queen show. And once they say, oh, sure, you can do that, I'm going to say, what is your allure in having children at these drag queen shows, but you don't have them at nursing homes? I mean, I would love to ask them that. So they're going to be getting a call after this.
All right. Just to be fair, totally transparent. The rest of the media print, or at least for my Instagram, what they said is, we decided to cancel in an attempt to avoid getting in the middle of politics. Okay, fair enough. If you're not going to get into politics.
Correct.
But guess what? Drag shows have become politics. If I'm wrong, prove it to me, and I will apologize for saying it right now. Let us know. You can jump right on that line, canceltheshow.com. Drag shows have become, let me rephrase. Drag shows for kids have become get into politics. I don't know about this drag show they had there. Were kids allowed? Did you have to be 18 to get in? I guess I'd have to understand
Tara
a little more.
sent it to me, and let me put it up here.
They go on to say, are you going to send it to Joe? We understand. We understand there is no way to make everyone understand or support our decision. But, and this is where it gets me about Olive. I say they didn't just put their toes in the water. They did a cannonball, a can opener, whatever you want, belly flop. We, quote, proudly stand behind Olive and Oak's 8-year record of supporting our community. Their community is Webster Groves, and that's fine. They can have it. People don't have to go to Olive and Oak. Damn.
That's kind of, that's
damn. It's such a good place. It really is. But anyway, that's the story with Vivek Ramaswamy getting canceled in Webster Groves in the St. Louis County area. I could not believe I saw it. Was like, holy crap. They actually did that. So anyway, it was scheduled for last night, August 30th. And, it was whatever. And it wasn't a high ticket deal either. But anyway, Olive and Oak can be who they want to be. There they are. But I'll have to seriously think twice about going there again. I don't know. I
get that is their community. And their community is very left. And so they want to patronize it. But it's not no just one come their community from somewhere else?
Yes, see, that is it. Their community may be that way.
Correct.
But I know for a fact a lot of people go to that restaurant who aren't that way.
And don't
like
live
me,
there.
Who are not progressive lefts.
See, there it is. Tara sent that. There's the rainbow.
Oh, shit.
Look at that. Wednesday, 6/21. It must have been in June. Yeah, it was a kids show.
Yeah, well, then if they had a kids drag show, then they're jumping right in the middle of politics. They're liars.
They are liars.
Shame
and that
on
is
you.
a question
I'm
going to call
Come
them.
on. Olive and Oak, shame on you. You don't want to jump into politics, but you'd have a drag show for kids?
Yeah. Give me a break. And I really do not. I really cannot grasp why men in dresses are so, other than that they're sick, want to dance that provocative in front of children. Like I said, Bindi said this on our chat line before. Why aren't they at nursing homes? They are grooming children. There's no other reason for that. And they are part of it. That restaurant is part of grooming children.
They are. I'm sorry. They are. I was trying to be so open-minded because of thinking of the fries and the roast beef dip sandwich and their steaks.
Yeah.
And what's sad is I really like their bartenders, and some of their bartenders who are gay, I've become close with, and I like them. And you can like people who differ from you or may have a different lifestyle. It's just sad that they did that with Vivek, because we need more of us talking about all kinds of subjects, getting to know people. So at least you don't hate other people, so you can at least respect people, even if you're going to disagree.
Lizzie sent me another image here. I don't know.
Oh, what the image is I just wanted to thank Jessica Dalton. She sent 5,000 stars.
Holy.
Right there, 5,000 stars.
We need confetti bursting all over the place right now.
Jessica,
we're not that cool yet. Maybe we'll take that and go all over the place.
Yeah.
David says Winty's roast beef and fries are much better. They are awesome. Winty's, but I get it. Winty's is amazing. We're appreciative of them being a supporter. Olive and Oak is kind of a higher end restaurant. And the great thing about Winty's is it's your place down the street that everybody loves to go.
Yes.
So anyway, that's the situation. Oh yes. Amy says, what's going on with restaurants these days? Todd said, Vic, you'll survive at Lion's Choice. Maybe I'll have to, do they have au jus?
They do.
Yeah, but that ruins a Lion's Choice roast beef. And for our national listeners, Lion's Choice is not a national brand, although it should be.
It's good.
It's more of a Missouri thing. Missouri, St. Louis metro area, which goes into the Illinois side. Yeah, crazy. Tara says, by the way, Olive and Oak were Sam Page bootlickers during the flu restrictions. Olive and Oak will never get my money. Yeah. So
yeah.
All right. So I guess Vivek did make a stop in the St. Louis area. I'm sure there had to be other restaurants offering probably even free venues, anything else. I mean,
Sure.
I hope there was somebody offering that if he wanted to come, even though if I were to vote today, I would not vote for Vivek, what I know right now.
Right.
I still like what I hear. I just haven't seen the actions to go with it yet.
Well, you know what? I don't think Donald Trump will pick him for VP either. He was on Glenn Beck yesterday, and he was saying that he liked him. And it's basically the only reason that they said he liked him.
Was he in person or did he call in?
He called in. He called into Glenn Beck, and he was saying basically that he liked him. But the only reason he could say he could like him, and he laughed about it, was that he said good things about him. And he said everybody said good things about him but Chris Christie. But what was so funny was that he felt like he could not have him as a VP because he was too controversial. And so that made Glenn Beck just laugh in hysterics about such a controversial guy as Trump to then not want Vivek. Because
it's a great play by Donald Trump.
Yeah, I thought so too. So, I mean, I guess that lets you know he's a great guy, but he's not picking him.
Cabinet position. I agree. David Sparks. That's what Vivek may be angling for from that standpoint.
So. Yeah.
Donald Trump is great TV. He's great ratings. You can't take your eyes off of him. Democrats call him the car crash that you rubberneck to see.
You got to see it.
Republicans and conservatives say that's our hero. That's why we continue to look at him. Whatever the case, people watch, people listen, people tune in, and that's what Donald Trump does. Case in point, Donald Trump has now become the most watched interview in the history of our country. Over 262 million views.
Wow.
Of his debate night interview with Tucker Carlson. Everything Donald Trump is doing is working, which is why both the left and the right don't want Donald Trump anywhere near an election. That's right. I said the right as well. There are so many factions on the right that do not want Donald Trump. That should tell you something. Donald Trump continues to pull his weight. He continues to pull the party along. While the Democratic Party is fractured between progressives and those who don't want, the Republican Party is also fractured. Trumps and no Trumps. But at the end of the day, because we see what Biden is, if the Democrats continue to try to throw him at some election, which I don't think will happen, they're going to have a big, big, big choice to make. Well, here's Donald Trump and all of his glory and gloating about, as only Donald Trump could do, about his massive television interview, the most popular of all time.
Wow, my interview with Tucker Carlson has turned out to be the single most watched video and interview in the history of the world, I guess. Such a great honor to have participated. 262 million views and counting, more than doubling the longtime reigning champ, the Oprah Winfrey interview of Michael Jackson. So I want to congratulate Tucker, and I want to thank everyone. Thank you very much.
He's his own Don King.
He is. Well, and Kevin says Donald Trump is like E.F. Hutton
huge
when he talks.
It was huge. Listen. Oh, that's good. Right. Huge.
Huge.
Bigger than China. 262 million and counting. Donald Trump is the man. There's crazy people on the left saying, well, the states are going to vote him out now. They're not going to even let him run for president in their state. You can't stop the Trump train blazer. What is interesting is the fact, and of course, as Chris brings up the uniparty, because I said there's Republicans and Democrats. There's a reason Republicans and Democrats don't want Trump there. And it's not because Trump is crazy. It's because Trump can't be bought. Correct. It's because Trump has told us, they're coming after you. I'm standing in the way. He's opened the doors, and they know that if he gets back in, he's going to open the doors. The sun's going to shine in. The cockroaches are going to be scrambling. The bats are going to be flying out. All kinds of chaos will happen, and the American people will know a lot more than what we know now. They don't want any part of it. And of course, Donald Trump is the greatest showman in our country right now. There is no better showman than Donald Trump, who knows how to get things done. He's not perfect. Do I think it's great for a political candidate to come in? Look how great I am. Look at me. No, but it works with Donald Trump because of everything that's been done to him. 262. It is. It is 262 million views and counting. Are you kidding me? That's why national news is dead. Local news is dead, except maybe for some weather. I don't know.
I think, the weather people are great, but you can even now get that on your phone app.
They're great.
Oh, okay. Well, they're not really great because
I stood up for them forever.
Well, it's the only job that you can be wrong more than
yeah, but
right.
you know what though? They have a thankless job. They work their ass. They do work their ass off. I saw it behind the scenes. The local weather people do. They work their ass off, and it's a thankless job because while many people say they can be wrong and still be fine and not lose their job, they are constantly getting bombarded. I'm not kidding you. It's and weather in the Midwest and Missouri is very hard to predict. It is.
Yeah. Sure.
Todd says Florida weatherman maybe. But this goes to show, it's just everything has changed. The way people have been raised, that's why that industry is dying. It's just dying because you have things like what we do now, and you have Donald Trump going to Twitter to do news. This is how the world is in 2023 going into 2024. I just found it very funny listening to Donald Trump talk like he did. But there's another point. Tucker Carlson has also come out in recent days and said that he is legitimately afraid that Donald Trump's life is on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I know that's something and you can say, and it's going to get headlines, it's going to get eyeballs, but he says it, and he says he means it.
Yeah.
And he says because the, quote, uniparty, the right and left do not want him there. So while Tucker Carlson may have learned the art of ratings, I don't think he's going to say something just to say it and it be reckless.
No, I definitely think they've tried to unalive him in every other format, money, reputation, cancel him, so on and so on. The only thing left they really have is to unalive him. And I know that Tucker's very afraid, but I also think he's mentioning it because the more you say it, the more they're going to know who did it. So if we just act like we don't know about it, then they're more apt to do it.
Tucker says it. I happen to believe it. All I know is Jack Smith, special prosecutor, overseeing all of the Trump drama, the Trump make-believe indictments, the Trump, we're doing everything we can to keep you from running for president information. If he doesn't stop Donald Trump from running for president, then he has failed. He has 100% failed.
Mm-hmm.
And now they want to have a trial starting, Fani Willis, on the January 6th indictments, the day before a Super Tuesday in March.
That's election interference. I mean, it just is. I mean, he's going to be for 6 to 8 weeks minimally, have to be preparing
Democrats,
for that.
Come on, as much as you hate Trump. But I do think that Democrats don't mind it because they hate the man so much. They would rather go after Donald Trump, and correct me if I'm wrong, please, Democrats, jump on and let me know why or why you think differently. They would rather see Donald Trump try to suffer, not get to run, and have a horrible president like Joe Biden than see a man that they hate every day.
Right. That is so weird.
I would rather suffer.
I'd rather have higher gas prices. I love my higher gas prices.
Than seeing Donald Trump. And there are Democrats that I know that say that. Anything but Trump. Anything but Trump. Mike Bell says, Trump is on fire. Yeah, he is. Mary says, guess what? Your show is not okay. Do you know today? Yeah, maybe. Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see where that goes. Glenn Thompson says, right, Bongino, Mary. The ex-Secret Service, has called out the Secret Service director because they are purposely not giving Trump protection that's needed. I did not hear that with Dan. Love his show. Love what Dan's about. That says a lot. I mean, it's been a long time, and I'm not trying to go way off the reservation here. It's been a long time since we have seen an actual attempted, I have to be careful of the words I use, attempted something at a president. Ronald Reagan.
To unalive them.
Ronald Reagan dealt with it. And we haven't seen, Stephen Scalise, the softball match, but we haven't seen a president take incoming fire since Reagan.
Right.
So I'm saying it hasn't. It's happened in the past. It just hasn't happened in a long time. It makes you wonder, and I'm not trying to go overboard, but it makes you wonder what the hell is going on. Are there plans? Are there situations? Why is Tucker Carlson saying this? Why is Dan Bongino coming out and talking about the Secret Service director getting called out because Donald Trump is not getting the protection he should as a former president? Interesting stories, to say the least. And that's what we talk about with the whole Donald Trump situation. Now, the flip side of Donald Trump is the whole fact of what is on the other side. Joe Biden, it just continues to get worse and worse and worse all the time. And thank God for Gold Star father, Mark Schmitz. Gold Star father Mark Schmitz, who was in studio with us 2 weeks ago, talking about a Freedom 13 event. Lizzie had the F-13. Do you still have it up?
I do. I'm going to have it up I was going to leave it all the way up through Joe's birthday because it was the last day of the month.
Oh, okay. We got that. And maybe Joe will give us a shot of that flag, but the Freedom 13 flag, which Mark Schmitz was promoting, there it is. That's Mark Schmitz's flag for the Freedom 13, honoring the 13 men and women who lost their lives, who were murdered at the Kabul airport and still can't get full answers from the government, still can't get full answers from Joe Biden.
No.
Mark Schmitz absolutely tore down Joe Biden like I have never heard an average Joe like ourselves do in D.C. If you haven't heard this yet, this will blow your mind. If you have, it's worth hearing again.
Yes.
Mark Schmitz laying it down on how Joe Biden is inept, how he is the worst president in the history of this country, and also just showing how much he and the other family members who lost loved ones hurt because they can't get answers from Joe Biden, who continues to run because he won't address the situation because he's not really running this country.
Not a single person has been held accountable. Our so-called leader can't seem to even utter their names in public, not even once. Mr. Biden has run his entire political campaign for 50 years as the family man. Well, I've got news for you, sir. The curtain has been lifting, and that campaign slogan will never work again. We have seen what's going on in your family, and even worse, we've seen how you've been treating us as Gold Star families. And there couldn't be anything more disgusting and cowardly than the way you have treated us. You are a disgrace to this nation. You have no business having ultimate command over our military, and I regret not saying that to your face when I had the opportunity in Dover. I felt it more important to bite my tongue, but I also had more important things on my mind at that time, like receiving my son's lifeless body stateside. While I stood there on the tarmac, watching you check your watch over and over again, all I wanted to do was shout out, "It's 2:30. But out of respect to the other grieving families, I bit my tongue once again. Well, as you could probably tell by now, I'm done biting my tongue. You, sir, stole their lives, their futures, their dreams, and have ripped apart 13 families. You cannot even man up and admit that. You, sir, gave us all the title Gold Star family. You, sir, discredit honor and integrity. 2 years later, there are things I find myself thinking about. Where and what was Biden's logic sneaking out of Bagram in the middle of the night before ever getting a single Afghan partner or American civilian out? This is the purest definition of intentional negligence. This is just one of many irresponsible and negligent decisions coming from the White House. In addition, leaving behind billions of dollars of our finest military hardware has led to the biggest international free market in history. Unfortunately, this will undoubtedly lead to more American military lives lost in the future. Between what has been happening here domestically, for example, the border, over the last 2.5 years, and all your failed foreign policy decisions, I would venture a guess that you have more American blood on your hands, Mr. Biden, than any president in U.S. history.
Wow. Gold Star father, Mark Schmitz, out of the St. Louis area. His son, Lance Corporal Jared Schmitz, lost his life. He was murdered that day in the bombing. And here's the thing. It was bad enough what happened, but to re-victimize a family with not giving answers, with giving convoluted answers, with giving multiple stories, with giving one story and then later getting a different story from somebody else, not getting information, not getting answers to questions, not being treated with any sort of respect, not admitting to any wrongdoing, not being there for the families of men and women who chose. They weren't drafted. They chose to serve this country. And for anybody who says the bullshit stuff that, well, they knew what could happen to them, you know what can happen to you, but you also think that the red, white, and blue has your back wherever you are in whatever part of the country or a part of the world you may be in. And now as we're finding out, they had a shot. They could have taken out the bomber. We're also finding out that these families were told and given information from individuals who said many of them were still alive after the, quote, bombing, and they were taken to different places. God knows what happened, where they ended up, how they actually passed away. And these are the kind of things that still go on. Mark Schmitz did what every one of those family members should do. Does Joe Biden care? No. Does his administration care? No. I certainly hope Democrats care if you think about voting for that man again, if he does make it that far. Where are all the Democrats that came out calling for Joe Biden to admit the wrongdoing? Not one of them. There aren't any Democrats who did that. And I'm not trying to make this a red versus blue situation. We're calling out what it is. But who did call Mark Schmitz after this happened? Donald Trump. He called him personally. Joe Biden didn't. Joe Biden's checking his watch, his ice cream, his vacation schedule, all kinds of stuff. It's bad. It's as bad as it gets. National media won't cover it. Local media won't cover it. And the only thing that I can just tell about that whole situation is how heartbreaking it is. And Mark Schmitz trying to do something about it on a daily basis. And what happens when the coach screws up, when the team loses and continues to lose it and continue, and America's losing a lot right now. We're not winning in anything. We're losing everything. You get rid of the coach. You've got to get rid of the coach.
He's got to go. And you're right. President Trump called him. He even had Mark and Jacqueline last night, invited him out to his place in New Jersey, and they spent the evening with that. The Schmitz feel validated and actually, quite frankly, wanted by Trump, where their own president, I don't really think he is the real president, but whatever, doesn't even care. It is so heartbreaking. That little twerp, and I'm calling Biden a little twerp. He has a special place in hell when he dies.
He might.
Oh, he does. God's got a special hot burning thing for his.
And we're not even talking about all the corruption and everything else that's going on. This is just about the lives of 13 that we know about right now because of the bombing and the media attention that it was given from that standpoint in time. I mean, hell, you've got him promoting and being positive towards Denver paying out almost $5 million to BLM protesters in the summer of 2020 who said that their rights were violated by police. Businesses were not taken care of. Literally, that came out overnight. Almost $4.7 million paid to BLM protesters after what they did, how they tore up cities, how they tore up everything. Getting $4.7 million now in 2023. That's the kind of crap that continues to go on right now that we're dealing with in this country. We're losers right now. It doesn't have to be this way. We've got people who are running for office who want to see America win again, have America be great again. And we just know that the Democrats they don't have anybody. Their best candidate is RFK. That's their best candidate. And yes, he is a Democrat. He's not a Republican, and they won't give him a shot.
And that tells you, we already know this and we've hit that several times. That tells us everything you need to know. RFK, even though he's a Democrat, he would be so much better than Cammie and Little Joe. And they don't want him. Nobody's for us right now. That's the scary part. Most Republicans aren't fighting for us way up at the top either.
Well,
They're
great
not.
Great segue. Mitch McConnell.
There he is.
As difficult as it is to accept and just stomach what the Democratic Party has become on the far left and sitting back and not going after Joe Biden because anything but Trump, Democrats know it's Trump. They also know that the deck is stacked against Donald Trump. I agree. Aaron, I saw your quote. He says, pay attention to what's happening in the D.C. court Trump trial right now. Convictions and sentencing of J6 prisoners, unlike anything we've ever seen. Proud Boys that weren't even there, that's a fact. Pro-lifers now, same judge, same freaking judge going after all these people. And guess what? It's the same judge for Donald Trump. It's also the same judge that worked at the same facility with the Bidens. They're going to convict Trump. I would not be shocked or surprised. And I think Donald Trump knows this. The deck's being stacked against him, for sure. Which is why he came out a week and a half ago and said, they could try to convict me. I will still be running for president and they can't stop me. Because I think he sees and knows the deck is being stacked against him. And you have Republicans sitting back and doing nothing about it. Case in point, Mitch McConnell. We talk about Joe Biden, how he should not be scooted out to anything. He shouldn't be the president. Democrats will tell you that. They know it, unless they're dishonest or delusional. And that's certainly the case with a lot of them. Sorry, it is. Mitch McConnell last month had a freeze moment where it almost looked like a mini stroke. And we have not been given any information on his health. Nope. Not that we deserve to know, but I think we do deserve to know when he's a public figure. If he was the average citizen, okay, I get it. But this man is in control of a lot. I mean, a lot. He had another freeze moment. Yeah, you can't make this stuff up. Here's Mitch McConnell. And by the way, before we show you this, he's also the same Mitch McConnell that after he froze and had to be escorted off of a podium like your great-great-great-grandfather who's over 100 years and can't even function anymore. He said, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. Of course you're not.
Of course he isn't.
One of the most evil things you can say afterwards. Here he is again.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? Yes. All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator. Benny. Yep.
Okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
Oh, yeah.
And you
get an A+ female for your job trying to turn that, but you can't.
Right. And that is obviously some sort of a handler of his. They know the way her reaction wasn't surprised. Again, I bet he's had way more than these two that we've seen. They know he's having many TIAs. They know that that's what's happening to him. That's
Can you believe we're even watching this play?
No.
Do you think that maybe that's like a defense mechanism that he's just using that to not answer the questions that he's been asked?
I think, you know what I do think? I think you're close to that.
But he's been doing
it's
that.
triggering his brain
for
and
years.
stress.
Okay.
He's been avoiding questions for 30 years.
Yeah. I mean, and it probably was. They were asking him that question, and he didn't know how to answer it. And if you're already incapacitated,
he's lost.
Oh,
no,
I agree.
Know where the truck he is.
It looked like he was either having some sort of brain issue, or he was trying not to crap his pants. I don't.
Well, could have.
They may be coinciding.
Yes, maybe both. You know that
it's funny, but it's not. This is the second time this has happened.
It is very sad.
The Republican Party has to push him out, but this is how you know the Republican Party is also compromised. How can that dude still be allowed to stand in that position?
Correct.
He can't.
No, he can't. And that guy, like just, last night, Joe was going to call him because they're very good friends.
And don't anybody ever say we're not fair on this damn show, because we go after Republicans as well.
Oh, absolutely.
We do. To be done. He's got to be done. He's got to step down. They have to push him out. His family has to push him out. He may die at a podium, and I am not kidding.
Yeah.
And shame on your family for allowing that to happen.
Absolutely. And shame on him for what he's done. I mean, he fundraised.
He doesn't have the best reputation in the Republican Party
either. To the Trump campaign. And then they all spent it amongst the senators. He's just, oh my gosh, he's the worst. He is. He might even be more dangerous than Joe Biden. And here's why I'm saying that. Joe Biden, we know that he's in with the squad and Obama and all of those people. But Mitch McConnell is Republican, and he's supposed to, just like Oak and the Webster Groves people are supposed to, hold up our values. He's hurting Republicans. He's hurting us. He's part of this problem that we have such economic problems right now.
And when Lizzie says the Oak people, what that was that Olive and Oak restaurant in Webster Groves, St. Louis suburb, if you didn't hear our podcast in the first hour, refused a benefit dinner for Vivek Ramaswamy because they said his ideals didn't match up with their communities, with the workers at the restaurant. By the way, I was on record. It was my favorite place. I love it. Now I have some serious soul searching.
Well, you can't go there anymore, Vic,
I can't afford it right now.
But even when you can, you cannot go there when they're supporting drag queens, not drag queens, I'm saying drag queens who are doing this in front of children.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. If they said that they didn't want to get involved, Olive and Oak did, in politics, yet they have hosted drag shows for kids. Hey, if you want to be an adult and have a drag show, fine, go do it. Have fun. Wear a mask. Get a cupcake. I don't care. Do whatever the hell you want.
Right.
Make it a trifecta. Hey, come here. Wear a mask, get a cupcake, and watch a drag show. But when you put the kids into play, that's a problem. And yes, you are jumping right in the middle of the political game when you do that. When you brought up Olive and Oak from that standpoint, the Mitch McConnell thing is so... the first time I laughed when we saw him in a podium in a suit, and I'm like, oh my God, look how crazy he is. And then he's lost it. And then I started to get sad because it reminded me of my grandmother before she passed away, and she couldn't remember anything, and she would just sit there. Then the second time it angered me. And I'm like, you continue to run. And I don't care if you agree with his politics. I don't care if you despise him as a conservative because of what he has done to other conservatives within the party. And we don't even have time to get into all of it right now. But the sheer fact that you have people who allegedly love him running that man out there, just like the Biden family or the puppet master or the deep state continues to run Joe Biden out. It's the same damn thing. And he would go and he just lost it again, just standing there in total. You know what? Could I see it one more time, Joe? Here's the thing. It's almost like he's like just cowering and he's like, oh my God, somebody save me. Somebody save me. Somebody help me. Les calls it elder abuse. We've heard that a lot with Joe Biden. But you know everything you need to know about Joe's wife, Jill, and the fact that he is still running out there. You know everything you need to know about Hunter Biden and everything else that's going on. The fact, even though he is in the midst of, just go away. All of you, just go away. The largest crime syndicate family we have ever had in the White House. Just leave. Leave us. Let this country be. Go have your fun with all the $30 million you got from Ukraine. Go enjoy your time in the Hamptons and let this country live. I wanted to see Mitch McConnell just once more because this is how sad. This is Republican Party and Democrat Party doing this.
What are my thoughts about what?
Running for re-election in 2026.
That's
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026? All right, I'm sorry, you all. We're going to need a minute. Senator. Benny.
Okay.
Somebody else have a question? Please speak up.
Oh, yeah. Speak up. Yeah, it was loud enough.
Yeah, speak up.
Shame on you. Shame on you too. Shame on you.
Yes, whoever that lady is.
Well, they can't just walk him off again.
Oh.
But it's happening. That's what's scary. That's everybody that's around. It doesn't get any worse than that. It's bad. It is bad.
And like I said earlier, she's his handler. She knows he's doing this. He's done it a lot more, I'm sure, than just a couple times we've seen. And they keep propping that guy.
Weekend to birdies, not just for Joe Biden, Mitch McConnell as well.
For sure.
Starring this weekend. By the way, our friend Max Price, his comedy shows start tonight through the week. And remember the comedian?
Yes,
he's starring at the St. Charles Funny Bone, had him in studio. You can go catch him this weekend. Shout out to Max Price as well. We'll continue to follow these stories with Mitch McConnell. If you get upset, you think these are crazy stories, just wait till you hear Lindi Williford, who's going to be joining us here in just a couple of minutes. Is Lindi on waiting for us yet?
Not yet.
Okay, she'll be jumping up in a second. What's happening with school boards all across America? And it's not just in the St. Louis area. It's happening all over the country. This one's specifically from Wentzville. If you know anybody in that area, tell them. We're going to find out some stuff right now. The strong arming, the behind-the-scenes craziness that you see from a national level is also happening at a local level. We're going to get right into that here in just a couple minutes. First of all, we want to give a shout-out to Complete Auto Body Repair. Curtis Sparks and crew, they do a phenomenal job. Everything with your vehicle from A to Z. 7 climate-controlled facilities throughout the St. Louis metropolitan area. Lots of viewers and listeners from Cancel the Show go there. They're all happy. Complete also turns away business if they don't feel a customer needs the work, need something that they have at that point in time. Strategic Air Services, where we broadcast live from, you're not going to find better private flying situation than with Strategic. Kevin and crew go all out to make sure that your trip is everything that it should be. And it may shock you if you consider it to be luxury flying, in some cases, how cheap it actually is when you get enough people and depending upon your destination and just all the circumstances. StrategicAirServices.net. Check it out. Give them a call. Let them know you heard about them on CancelTheShow.com. There's no better realty company to go to in the St. Louis metropolitan area than Experience Realty. I mean, you don't even have to debate it. Kathy Helbig-Strick, as much experience as anybody, as much success as anybody. Her husband, Steve Strick, with Score Mortgage, with New American Funding. And they also on the side have New Age Health Wellness. We have all kinds of people going to New Age Health Wellness. Lizzie went, her experience was amazing. She's starting to feel better. She's taking some things right now for herself. You get your blood checked, doctors on staff, nurse practitioners on staff to make sure that everything is taken care of. Also, Vehicle Protection Group, Biff McCullough, running that group. They're still looking for a couple of people when it helps to selling car warranties. You literally take inbound calls. They're top people, 2 or 3 of them already making 6 figures. You email Todd at vpcnetwork.com. That's Todd at vpcnetwork.com. The number 1 dispensary in the state of Missouri and growing across the country right now is Greenlight Dispensary. Tom Bomarito does an amazing job. We have him in studio. We talk to their general managers, their bud tenders on a weekly basis for our Weed Wednesday segment. Being the largest in the state gives them the best opportunities at providing the best pricing and the best products. And you go to our website, canceltheshow.com. For our viewers who are listening right now, you literally download that coupon and you take it in with you for a discount. It's a great situation. Speaking of great, there's no better charcoal in the country than Rockwood charcoal. The best pure charcoal. It comes from the state of Missouri. That's right. Show Me State produces the best charcoal because of our natural environment with our trees and the best pure charcoal you break apart with your hand. You can literally crumble it in your hand. That's how you know there's no fillers. If you can't do that, you know there's a lot of fillers, which a lot of brands have. Rockwood charcoal does not have that. Also, special thanks to Carroll House Furniture for their support when it comes to canceltheshow.com. I'm Vic Faust with Lizzie Sparks and Projo. It's been a great show so far. We continue this podcast as we do Monday through Friday, 8 to 10 a.m. Central and all the time on our website, canceltheshow.com. We love what we do, and we try to bring all the stories that we can, the full stories, the stories that you haven't gotten in traditional news. Well, now that's why you go to podcasts. That's why we continue to grow. And by the way, we'll do our Donald Trump, pat ourselves on the back a little bit here. We've had almost 1.3 million views so far on canceltheshow.com since we begun, and half of those have come just in the last 2 months.
Yes.
That's
doubled in the last 2 months.
That's a show that's growing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a great 2 months.
It has been. We've had a great couple months here for sure.
And that's why we say, look for us if you want to partner with us. Please let us know. Let Lizzie know. Let myself know. Vic at canceltheshow.com. You can also check out canceltheshow.com, our partners page. We literally have just a basic overview of what you could do from an advertising standpoint. Try us out for a month or 2. If it works, great. If it doesn't, that's fine. It is working for the advertisers that we have right now, and we're grateful for that. And we can also put a plan together. We're also bringing new shows in. Projo has a show coming in.
Start recording tomorrow.
He starts recording tomorrow. We have a sports recruiting show that's coming. We also have another conservative show that's going to be hitting younger
Yes.
conservatives.
Who I'm not going to leak it out yet, but they are the millennial version of Vic and I.
Okay.
That's what the female said on that show.
There you go. And we have, and if you're interested in bringing a show to our network and broadcasting out of arguably one of the best recording studios in the St. Louis metropolitan area, let us know as well. Things are going great right now. We're appreciative. It's not easy, but your support would certainly help. Of course, go there. Let us know if there's anybody that wants to partner with us, or if you know a friend or family member that has a business that we can promote. If you have an event coming up, let us know. We can promote that as well. We'll work with you to do whatever we can. That's what we love doing, what we're doing here at cancelthisshow.com. Doing interviews with people all around the country, whether they are massively known names or even local warriors like Lindi Williford. We're trying to bring that to you.
There she is.
Lindi, we say good morning to you. We appreciate you jumping in with us today. There's a situation that's going on in the Wentzville School District in the St. Louis metropolitan area, St. Charles County specifically, that is happening all around America. And it doesn't matter if it's a red county, which St. Charles County has proven to be in previous elections. This, as I give the setup here, you're a concerned parent. We started to be told a few weeks ago that a school board president was strong-arming elected school board members into situations so that they wouldn't have problems this year, and you just go with the flow. What is going on?
Well, like you said, it's just like a microcosm of what's going on around the country. Give us your kids and your money, sit down, shut up. They don't want parents pushing back. They certainly don't want parents, flipping school boards so that we actually have a voice. Wentzville elected 3 new school board members this past election. The community spoke and said, this is who we want representing us on our school board, right? It was an overwhelming vote, the 3-1. And as soon as they were seated, it was like, okay, the education establishment, I like to call it the education cartel, because let's be real.
Oh my God, what
they did not want these 3 up there. And it was very clear by body language and things that they were not allowing them to put on agendas. And so during the campaign season, one of the top questions for parents and concerns was, what are we going to do about boys in the girls' bathrooms, or, the bathroom issue? Because if you take one little look around the country, that's such a huge issue, right? It's such a huge concern for parents. So we really wanted a bathroom policy that said, boys here, girls here. And I know that they've been trying to get that on the agenda, and the school district is saying, we're not going to talk about it. No, we're not going to talk about it. It's not going to be in public. But at the same time, these districts are having these gender and sexuality alliance after school clubs, right? So they're talking to our kids about this stuff, but they refuse to talk to parents about this stuff. And we've had enough.
What can you do, Lindi? Lindi Williford, a parent in the Wentzville School District. Do you know specifics about what has happened to, are school board members still wanting to stay in the position? Are they thinking about quitting? Because you don't run for school board members. It's a tough enough job as it is, and it doesn't pay much, if anything.
Nothing. It doesn't pay anything.
Yeah, there you go. And then you're going to be strong-armed and saying, listen, you follow our way or there's going to be problems. Right. Is it true? I heard that an attorney was present when one of these school board members went in for a meeting with the head school board member.
Yeah, I'll just kind of set the stage on that. So it was really odd when you look at the chain of events that happened after our 3 were elected. The day they were sworn in, Wentzville School District hired their own attorney to sit on cabinet and sit in school board meetings. And I'll tell you why that's weird and something
what purpose? Yeah, what purpose? I don't understand why.
Well, now we know to intimidate and to, keep people quiet and to keep them in line and to defend the district instead of defending our kids. So I used to handle insurance claims for Missouri United School Insurance Council, right? We represented 500 plus school districts across the state. I worked with these education law firms my entire career there. I have never, ever seen a school district hire their own staff counsel to sit on cabinet, to sit in school board meetings specifically. So it was weird to me. Like, this guy was hired right as soon as our 3 were seated. There's things they're being told they can't talk about. They can't do. You can't bring this up in open session. And it's like clear that the intimidation factor of, we, the people, said what we wanted, right? We want to try to, our three are saying, this is what we were elected to do, was to advocate for the people. The people want this policy brought into open session. And our three were being told no, to the point of intimidation of one of our school board members did walk out last school board.
That is so sad. The person that walked out, are they going to come back, or are they just done?
We have had discussions with this person and talked them back into, please stay in the fight. Please stay in the fight. And they have agreed to do so. So I can share that now because that person has shared that publicly. So they're going to stay, thankfully.
And we're not saying names at this point in time. I mean, is there any positivity to do that? Yes, no. I mean, I'm not trying to out anybody. I'm just curious.
Yeah, no, David Lewis. And he's a great guy. He was elected by the people to represent the people. And they're strong-arming him on the things he wants to bring into open session to discuss with parents and taxpayers. And it's ridiculous.
And it's funny, like Vic had said earlier, this school district, you still go to the Walmart, and there's a couple Walmarts in this district, and you still see, you know, old-fashioned values and pickup trucks and American flags, and you know what the municipalities are that are in the Wentzville school district. And they are not getting, their needs are not getting met, and now they're getting bullied. So you get them elected. And I'm in this school district as well, and had the signs in my yard, and everybody wanted these three there. And people, I'm glad that you're on, because people have no idea the bullying that David Lewis and the other two have gotten. And the word has got to get out, because we, the people, have got to start calling the school district, has got to find out who that attorney is, have got to find this out, because enough is enough.
And it's to the point where there are sunshine laws in the state of Missouri to have transparent government. And there are very specific things that you're allowed to talk in and talk about in executive and closed session. Policy making over this restroom issue is not one of those things. Very strict. It's like legal matter, name, stuff like that. The discussion of this topic that is so important to parents absolutely needs to be in the public. And for them to refuse to do it is just, it's not okay. It's not okay.
Lindi Williford is a concerned parent. Do you feel as if it was solely about kids with these certain sexual issues, or did this go further than that? Or are we allowed to share that information regarding, hey, listen, you're going to follow us on everything that we do here, or there's going to be problems? Not to mention my attorney is now sitting right next to me as we have this conversation with you.
Well, you know, it's like they were elected to represent the people. They are up there to advocate. They are not up there to defend the school district. They are not up there to advocate for the school. So for them to be strong-armed like that, we're not going to let you bring to the floor what your constituents voted you in to do. It's completely wrong. It's wrong.
Lindi, what do you think their end game is? I think we can speculate. Why are they fighting so hard to save this bathroom issue and all of the other things we've been talking about? What's their end game?
I think when you look at what has been coming to light in the past couple of years, there's definitely an agenda, right? There's just this over-sexualization of our children that is just in your face constantly. Earlier this week, which just completely blew my mind, and why this issue is now even more important to me, is the worst state in the country for rape and attempted rape. That is according to the Department of Education.
Thank you for the stats. Didn't know that.
That blew my mind when I saw that. A car going.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And why do you think that is? Why do you think the state of Missouri is the highest in these ugly stats?
I think I'm losing
Yeah,
connection.
that's fine.
Sorry.
Here's the situation with it's a terrible stat to have. No state wants it.
No.
The problem is the fact that you have the over-sexualization of kids. We already know that. And then you have school board members, allegedly, or school board presidents, as we hear from Lindi, allegedly saying, listen, we don't need to talk about this publicly. No, it all needs to be talked about publicly. It can't be strung together in backroom deals where publics and the parent don't have any say over their kids. I mean, keep in mind with what's happening, not only with these situations with bathrooms, you've also got a situation going on right now with puberty blockers and certain states around the country not even allowing parents to know if their child, oh yeah, we're a child, we want to change our sex and we're not going to let our parents know. And they start the process without parents knowing. In the state of California, which there's a lot of hope for that beautiful state. I know there's a ton going wrong with it. But Temecula school district, where my mother lives and sister and husband and kids live there, they have now passed a law in their specific school board in Temecula where they are going to make sure that parents know if kids are trying to do something. Unlike the rest of the state, they became the third school district. That's it. Third school district in the state of California. That's it. That are going to let parents know. Right now, parents don't even need to know. These are the types of issues that are happening when you don't talk publicly. And I'm sure, Lindi, there are several of these things that come up all the time. I mean, there was things, and I know people say, Vic, I was told by Wentzville there were no such thing as furry boxes in bathrooms. And I'm told, Vic, yes, there are. And then I'm told by certain people in power, no, there weren't. I mean, God, what have we gotten to?
Yeah, and I mean, like, something that really bothers a lot of parents in the Wentzville school district are these genders and sexuality clubs that they're having for kids after school. They're in all of our high schools in Wentzville. And I just wanted to read a minute of description just so that parents know what these clubs are about. They're sponsored by adults, mind you. Sponsored by adults. GSA stands for Gender Sexual Alliance. And focuses on bringing together allies of the LGBTQ plus community to support each other, provide a platform to fight for racial, gender, LGBTQ plus, and economic justice, and talk about issues related to sexual orientation and gender identity expression. You're going to have these clubs for our kids, but then you're telling parents, well, we can't talk about anything like that in public. Like, I'm sorry, kiss my butt. That's not okay.
It doesn't add up. It shouldn't be okay. Where are the parents that think that this is okay? And why?
Right.
And why is this?
Know.
Here's the thing. A lot of things in life, it's not about right and wrong. It's what's good for you.
You're right. I think, Lindi, most parents don't even know. I remember in my neighborhood, there was someone. Now, this is a couple years back, but in this high school our kids would have gone to, is the prom king was the queen was a guy. I mean, so they've been pushing this for a long time, long time. And these
you say anything about it, right? And you're labeled a phobe. I'm sorry. And if you say anything about it and you're outspoken, like you're a transphobe or you're a homophobe and you don't like LGBT people and all these other things, and it's just like, I have 4 daughters. It is my duty. I answer to God about how I can protect them. And so I am doing that. I don't hate anybody, but I'll be if I just let this stuff happen to my kids and my community. It's not okay.
Yeah, it's not okay.
I'm a big stats person, so I want to throw something else out there. In 2004, I did a policy and program study on educator sexual misconduct. 10% of public school kids, well, at some point in their K through 12 career, 10% of sexual harassment or abuse, ranging from unwanted comments to contact offenses, is perpetrated by teachers or administrators. I mean, the latest study, and it was 20 years ago. So you know how over-sexualized the world, it's.
Oh, 10 times.
It's more.
10 times fold.
And to put that in perspective, for our state, we have kids in public school in Missouri, right? So we're talking 10% of that is 90,000 kids in their K through 12 career sexual assault or offense against them in public school. Like, if you're refusing to talk about this, then on you. Everyone sitting on that school board has a duty to protect and advocate our kids. So if you refuse to bring these issues to public and discuss them, then you have no business being on that school board whatsoever.
And we wanted to let people know, it is ironic we start talking about some very serious issues, And there was some cutting in and cutting out on certain platforms. If you go to canceltheshow.com, we have multiple platforms that you can watch live from. YouTube, Clout Hub, Rumble. It's all there for you too, because some people were saying it is interesting. It started, your sound, Lindy, started to break up out of nowhere. It's interesting. We've had this issue in the past when we talk about some serious issues.
And that sounds bizarre that you're saying that. But, however, it's a fact. It's a fact.
It happens every single time. But anyway, we're grateful for you jumping in on that. The other thing, Lindy, as you move forward, what kind of response are you getting in the Wentzville School District, the community? Is there an effort, an active effort? Is there a group of parents who is like, not our kids, not on our time, not now, not ever, as long as we're around? Are there efforts being done to go do something about this and say, listen, you may be the president or you may be the vice president, but we're not going to sit back and just let this happen?
Right. There's a group of parents at this since the COVID years. But I'll tell you this, Vic, and it's sad to me because 1,000 kids. There is a core group of maybe 6 to 10 parents that regularly show up to school board meetings. And I find that just unacceptable. Like, you either don't know, show up. And this is a call out to like, it is time for you to get involved. It is time for you to come to school board meetings. It is time for you to be vocal, to ask, to email, to call. Like, these are our children. They are at risk. And it's time for you to just really, it's time for you to get involved.
I've always said it. You've got to be persistent, but be polite, be polite, be polite, be polite, be persistent, be polite, be persistent, be polite. You know you have a target on your back already if you're asking questions. If you don't go with the norm, if you're one of the sheep that just gets herded around, you're going to have a target on your back. Don't give people a reason to accuse you of something. Be polite, but be persistent. Ask questions, show up as much as you can. Eric Johnson, who's with us on Fridays now, I mean, he went to a school board meeting and he was blown away by some of the things that he saw. And he didn't even have a kid. He just wanted to go see what was going on in that district. This is not just a Wentzville situation. It's not just a Missouri situation. It's a national situation. Are you talking to people or moms, or do you even have time? I know you're very busy. Dealing with situations like this around the country?
Oh, absolutely. I feel like I'm very tuned in the St. Louis area. There are groups of parents in every school district that are doing the exact same thing that we're doing. And I'm telling, it's like the education cartel, right? They all move right in sync with each other. This is ahead of us. So you have to be tuned in. You have to involved. You have to educate yourself on how the education system works, guys. But man, our kids are so worth it. So please get involved with a parent group in your school district. It's so.
Lindy, anything else you wanted to leave us with before we let you go this morning? You're not only you're a busy mom, you're a working mom, and you're taking time to join us. So we don't want to take up too much of your time, but anything you need to let people know about how they can get involved, if somebody wants to start maybe a group like what you're trying to do, wherever they may be listening, because, this podcast is listened to people all around the country right now. Okay, maybe that didn't go through. I just want to tell
parents it's their school board meetings are, and it's time to show up.
Oh, easy enough. Straight and to the point.
Yes.
Lindy, please continue to do what you're doing. Keep us posted on what you're doing, and we'll get you in the studio next time to make sure that there's no cutting in or out. It was interesting towards the end of the interview, it started cutting out like we said. But Lindy, thank you so much for what you're doing, and thank you for loving your kids enough to do what you're doing, because that's what it's about. It's not about you. It's about loving your children enough to sacrifice the time for them. And we need public schools. Thanks, Lindy. Have an awesome day.
You're a rock star, Lindy. Have a good day.
All right. Lindi Williford, concerned parent in the Wentzville School District, talking about some of the situations that she alleges have happened. David Lewis, he said, walked off. He was an elected board. And it sounded like she said he left because of, quote, being strong-armed, where you're not going to be allowed to talk about issues regarding kids with sexual issues in bathrooms in public settings. Oh, we're going to do it all behind the scenes. Really? Then why even have an election for elected board members?
Well, and Lindi literally said the best 2 words. It is the education cartel. It is a shell game. It's really part of the unions, the teacher unions.
Of course it is.
That get to the school board. And we were talking about Wentzville specifically, but it's the same thing. You have a public school anywhere in the United States. That is what's going on. You have an education cartel, and be aware, parents, to put your kids in private schools. It is hitting private schools too. So you need to be involved at your private school. Just because you put your child, say, in Catholic, Lutheran, non-denominational, whatever, just an independent school, be very careful. It is not going there, and ask the questions. You have to be specific. Okay, do you allow people to kneel at the flag? Do you have BLM situations? Do you have an LGBTQ, XYZW, whatever, there with an adult trying to hand you condoms, hand you things? And this is what's going on, people. Do you have furries in the bathroom? Do you have kitty litter in your bathroom? You've got to be very specific and pointed in what you're asking, because it's there, guys. And I know Vic earlier did not believe it, but there was, the school's saying it didn't happen.
I was told there were no furry boxes.
But you were told by the administration.
I was told by the administration.
But the mama bears know they were in the bathroom. Now school says, oh yeah, they might have been there, but we didn't know they were there. They were there.
But I never saw pictures of furry boxes there. I
think I missed something. I don't know what a furry box is. What's a furry?
Okay, well let me tell you, in case parents like Joe that do not know, it started back a good decade ago that the kids would go to school with cute little bitty bunny ears, like little rabbit ears, and they were innocent enough. But then it became a thing where the kids are actually really think they're a cat or really think they're a dog, or they walk down the hallways, and every school's anywhere. Ask your kid. Do kids go down the hall going, ruff, 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 ruff? And a teacher has to cater to the dog, and so that's where the furry boxes
it seemed
came
more
in.
at popularity 2 years ago into last year.
Yes, it's not as big anymore.
Furry boxes where you go to the bathroom, Joe.
So you're telling me there is
like
a human-sized litter box for a human in public school bathrooms?
I don't know that they're there anymore, because all you have to do if you find out they're there is you have to call the health department and say there is human poop sitting in a bathroom.
I can't believe it's gotten that. I mean, literally that's a real thing.
I'm sorry to ruin your birthday.
Allegedly, yes. Allegedly, yes.
Yes. And that is definitely a thing that has gone on in multiple school districts. Now, I'm not saying that the school itself put the litter box
or
there.
That they're there now.
I haven't heard they're there now. I'm hearing they're not there now.
Greg brings up a great point. So kids can just walk around humping people's leg and it's acceptable.
Oh my God, who knows?
Kind of.
There may be that going on anyway. Right. I'm not trying to be funny.
It is literally a crisis in our schools. And I know we're laughing and it's kind of funny, but it really is.
It's so outrageous. I don't mean to laugh.
We were talking
so
about
outrageous.
Wentzville. Literally it started 2 school years ago.
It did. And I know it for a fact because one of my neighbor's kid was a furry.
Oh my God.
And the brother and the parents were what you would
And they said it was a box because my son said at his high school it was a rumor. They thought it was funny. So then kids started making up rumors.
Well, I believe that too. I believe that a lot of
Dad,
this was rumors.
No, it's not. He's like, our school's getting a bad rep. He's like, no, but everybody thought it was funny just to start these rumors.
Just say it. Yes, yes. The only school district that I have heard basically in the St. Louis metropolitan area is the schools Lindi is talking about. And that's sad because people move to that particular district because it's known to be good. It's known to have still good American values, and they've decimated. You can't even talk about like the "Don't Tread on Me" flag there because you're considered racist if you have that. In Wentzville, Missouri. And I know one of the principals. I asked her, she came to my house where my kids go to Christian school, Lutheran school to be exact, and they were learning about all these flags. And I kid you not, you guys, I kid you not. She literally said, what is that? What is that flag? She didn't know. So my kid told her what it was. This was some years ago. And she literally looked at me and said, I cannot believe with your family that you're teaching them racist values. I could not believe it. I'm like, do you not even understand what this flag is? They don't. And that's a principal in that same school district. That school district, Lindi is not exaggerating, and is a huge crisis. So they don't have furry boxes anymore, but now they're pushing this, this club, which has been there for years. And now they're bullying the school boards. That's what but it's not just in Wentzville. It's everywhere, you guys.
Let me tell you something, because I know a family who have been fighting. And once again, we try to speak to a national audience. We're based out of the St. Louis area. We bring up some experiences here, but they happen all around the country.
They're happening everywhere.
Westminster Christian Academy.
You betcha.
Guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Some parent friends of mine have been fighting a battle there for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
So guess what? It happens everywhere, public and private. Westminster, Wentzville, it doesn't matter. There are certain people, even in the private schools.
Absolutely.
Because I was like, Westminster Christian Academy, WCA. And they're like, oh, yeah.
There's a lot of wokesters kids who go there. There was a Christian school here in O'Fallon that the school went from hundreds and hundreds of kids down to 100 and something because they allowed the kneeling at the flag. So parents are like, I'm not paying for this. So they pulled. And that's right here in O'Fallon, Missouri.
Then we should be kneeling at the flag with our hands on our hearts, singing.
Right?
That's the only kneeling.
Right? They were kneeling
happening.
for cop hating is what they were doing.
Yeah.
And the school allowed it because people there had white guilt. It ruined the school.
Matthew Hicks says, Westminster, what?
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, that's real. I'm not just spreading
It's a real
rumor.
thing. No.
It's going on everywhere. But then once again, you also have, and this is, but we're such a melting pot
of
ideas. And this is what freedom allows us to have. That, I even know a person who sent their kids to Westminster who was all about transitioning kids and considered themselves to be a conservative. I'm just telling you, you get all kinds of just wackadoodle thoughts and ideas.
Yeah. And
anybody that wants to or thinks it's good for a kid to transition is a wackadoodle. And that's why I say that.
You're a wackadoodle.
To take what God has made great and wholesome and pure, and then to try to change that as if we think we know better. That's where you start to get into the wackadoodle things that are going on. But it is going on. And that's why we wanted to bring Lindi in, because this has been going on for about a week and a half, 2 weeks out in Wentzville.
Yes.
And we started to hear stories around the country. We talked about what's happening in Temecula, California, and then other parts around the country where parents aren't being told if kids want to transition. And you're just like, what? We keep getting hit. What? Something else to follow something. And then your brain just is like, oh my God, I can't take it anymore. We just wanted to bring this up because we've also reached out to other people to talk about, and other people weren't ready to talk. It's like, it was almost, in some cases, people don't want to stand up and say something and become a lightning rod, even though they want to say something, or even though they know what's going on is terrible. And they're just hoping that it doesn't show up at their front door. Maybe it will be fine. Maybe our kids will be fine. I'll continue to try to teach them the right way. And everything does start at home. No matter where you send your kids to school, it starts with you as the parents. But it just can make the job a little bit more difficult.
Well, last weekend, my daughter was at a tournament, and there was a boy playing on a public school's.
What sport?
Volleyball. And so at the end, I did walk up to it, but everybody on my kids' team that were standing around kind of looked, oh, what's she going to say? And I just walked over there and I said, hey.
Wait, time out before. Okay. Because you walked up to who?
I walked up to the coach of the other team and I said to her,
I've gone to court? Isn't that disallowed?
No, it was after the game.
And how old does this start?
They're high school.
Oh,
it's high school.
So it was a high school.
It was a high school girls
team
volleyball game
that had a boy playing.
Correct.
Okay, this is getting good.
And so I walked up to, I guess it was an assistant coach, and I let up with that she would think I would like it. I said, oh, you have a boy playing on your team. And she smiled real big. And I said, so I'll take that as a yes. And she goes, huh? I said, so that's a boy, right? And she did not deny it. And the parents all got really kind of whatever. And
so parents heard you say this?
Oh, yeah. They heard me say it.
Parents from the other team?
Both teams. And the couple parents from my team that was starting around, they were like, oh my God, there goes Lizzie again. She's going to say something, because that will just show that nobody wants to say anything. And these are great parents, but nobody wants to say anything. And I said, you know what? It's a good thing our team annihilated your team, because if that boy had smacked my daughter in the face, you all would have hell to pay and you'd be hearing an attorney. Mm-hmm. I did. Because don't you put a boy on a girl's team.
I know. I'm with you.
Don't you do it.
I never had to deal with that with my daughter running.
I couldn't believe it. Here we are doing it. I didn't think I'd have to deal with it either. I thought this kid over the summer, I thought it was a boy.
Was he good?
No, he was not good. That's why I said he was not good at all. And I thought,
but see, that's an argument that the other side can make. Well, he didn't really matter.
That's what they did. That's what they said. Literally, Vic, that's what they said as I walked away. Well, he's bad and we just wanted to give him a chance.
Until 6'2" Tommy shows up with muscles and a 44-inch vertical and starts to smash the ball down in people's faces.
Correct. Because that's what's happening. And I get why they thought that. I get that team even had good, weird intentions about, little
like
Johnny,
Leah Thomas in the pool.
He's just not good. So we're going to put him on this team and let him go against the girls. They looked ridiculous. And so at the end, it did. We had a whole bunch of parents then in the stand going, oh my gosh, that was a boy. I'm like, you guys, wake the hell up. This is just the beginning. We have got to say something. You can't just go, oh, well,
I get your point. You need to say, you do need to say something, whatever it is.
It's uncomfortable. I didn't want to do it.
It is uncomfortable. And so many people are like, oh, we just want to stay back here. We just don't want to, say anything. And we're just going to go on with our life and be happy.
Right. And the kid was bad anyway or whatever. But you know what? Somebody has. So now I don't know that anything's going to happen at this point, but now people know.
So Lindy, thank you for speaking up. And Lizzie, it's the Lindy and Lizzie show. There you go.
Oh my goodness.
I would just like to watch you go off and do that. I'm trying to imagine you doing that. I can't. I see you every day and I still can't imagine you doing that.
Well, it infuriated me that they did that and tried to pass it off. And if I would have gone up there and said, hey, is that a boy? They would have said no or whatever. But when you go up and act like, oh, that's so great that that's a boy on the team, and they all tell you, yeah, and they shake their head. And then when they see I don't like it, they about crapped in their pants, because people don't come up to them and say that. And I don't like to do that. That does not make me feel good. I don't want to do that. I wanted to be that person to walk away too, but I can't anymore. I can't. I've still got a girl that's going to be playing. I got a granddaughter, and there's going to be more grandkids coming, and I don't want them to be in a world where they can't play sports anymore because boys are smashing their face with the ball.
Yeah. Well, maybe.
Did you know that the percentage of testicular injuries has gone up exponentially in women's sports?
Yeah. Yeah, I have heard that. That's funny. Les says, musician Carlos Santana, I did see this, made a remark about gender. He says, a man is a man, a woman is a woman. He said it at a concert, but he ended up having to apologize for it after. You don't have to apologize for anything, whatever you do. The rapper a couple weeks ago, his publicist apologized for him talking about the same subject. And then he's like, no, I'm not sorry. No, I'm not sorry for what I said. You can't let mainstream media, you can't let the little minority of people make you feel guilty about saying what's right and what's wrong. This society has turned so far left. It's like, wait a second, it's complicating things when it doesn't need to be complicated.
Right.
Well, maybe you damn well know a boy is a boy and a girl is a girl.
Correct.
It's science.
Yes.
You would have to deny science for it to happen. If you want to deny science, that's on you, but you're the fool. If you want to deny fact, that's on you. You can be the fool. This stuff is clear as day. You have evil forces at play that try to complicate, try to dirty the water, try to muddy it to make you think, oh, well, maybe there is an option. Maybe then the heartstrings start to get tugged on and pulled. Oh, well, we just want them to be happy because everybody should feel good and get exactly what they. No, it's not what happens. That's not what life is about. Once again, you have to keep your eyes open. You have to not get caught up in all the crap because it's very easy, especially in 2023, and especially when you have school boards. And it's not the school boards, it's the unions. It's the unions that put these people into place that come in and try to tell you you're less than because of your school, because of your color at school. You're less than if what your parents taught you growing up is not what we want you to know now. You're less than if you go against what you know is correct from your faith. And from a biblical standpoint, you're less than if you follow these things. You need to follow us. Don't get caught up in it. And it's so difficult for the kids, which is why parents do need to stand up for the kids as long as they possibly can until they become adults at 18 and can do things for themselves at that standpoint.
Well, and you were kind of talking about the faith part of it. It literally is, and I've said this on the show several times, it's Satan's strategy. It really is to make sin look normal or bad things look normal.
Well, we're told scripturally that would happen. If for people who are into that, and for people who aren't, I think it's common sense.
It is. It is common sense to make things that are bad look good and things that are good look bad and make
We're there.
We are. And
unfortunately, we are there.
And it makes righteousness look strange.
I compare that to the cupcake. And then if you haven't seen this, we've been talking about this in recent weeks. Projo, if you could load up KJP, because now she has now publicly come out and said what she has said regarding the whole situation, regarding the cupcake and what's coming in like 2 weeks. You're going to start to see more of this. Here's KJP.
Decided to recommend everyone get the new vaccine. When is he going to decide finally?
So as I think you've heard from the FDA and CDC, they've made an announcement on the new vaccine. So certainly they said that there'll be an updated vaccine mid-September, I believe. So we know that, as you all know, vaccinations against COVID-19 remains the safest protection for avoiding hospitalization, long-term health outcomes, and death, which is why we are going to be encouraging Americans to stay up to date on their vaccines.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, she's so cringy.
No, it doesn't.
Oh.
Do my thing. If you want, take your vitamins, do your zinc, do your vitamins D. I'm telling you, it worked for me. I mean, I know that I'm not a health professional and I'm not Dr. Vic, but I identify as one.
Apparently the I word still is now acceptable.
It is. Here's the thing. It's accepted because it's not ripped anymore.
Right.
Yes.
I wonder if it'll
That's
go back
why.
into that. I wonder if they'll start slamming it again.
You better have the I word around. No, they won't. They can't. They can't go back on it.
Well, they'll find a way.
And here's the other thing.
It'll be the H now, the hydro.
And first of all, you can see what's coming. We were talking about this 2-3 weeks ago. The other interesting thing is, you notice she didn't say it's the best way to stop anything from moving from person to person. So nobody can listen. If you want to get it, if you want to get a new one, have fun, do whatever you want. If you want to wear your mask, have fun, go do it. Don't mandate anything.
How can
Don't
you
try
have
to
fun
force
in
anything.
a mask? You can't have fun. Vic, you can't have fun.
I was being a little sarcastic. Maybe some people do like it. I told you.
You're right. I do think some people like. I see some people wear it, whatever, but it's not fun.
Whatever. Have your fun.
Have your
do
fun.
whatever. You're not going to force it on people who haven't and don't want to. And that's not what America's about. We just play that to let everybody know. Their messaging has changed. It is no longer about pushing it on somebody and thinking that it's going to stop it from spreading, just like the flu. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to flu times. Okay, there you go. Nothing is wrong with you if you haven't. And if you have, you know what? You're entitled to get it again. Although most of the people that I know that have gotten the first time are not going to get anything more again.
Yeah. I talked to 3 people yesterday who said the same thing, that they did get the first one. They didn't get any boosters, but they will not be getting anything this time.
Okay. We've had a lot of seriousness. Let's have some fun. Joe, can you run the music video? Who made this video?
Okay. So there's Greg, who is assisting Projo. It's his wife Danielle made this, and it makes me laugh every time.
Okay, it goes back to a couple days ago from the debate. We ran video of Ron DeSantis saying, I'm never going to let you down. And then it's like he couldn't decide if he should smile, if he should be stern, like he didn't practice smiling in the mirror enough. You'll see his like weird lips. So we had some fun with him 2 days ago. And then I guess our growing team of comedians put a video together.
Yes.
And here it is.
And I will not let you down.
I mean, it was just like,
I will not let you down. Can we say that again? I mean, oh my God.
And I will not let you down.
That's good. Maybe you could practice in front of a mirror or something.
Never gonna let you down. Never gonna run around and desert you. Never gonna give, never gonna give. Never gonna give, never gonna give.
Yeah, nice job, nice job,
that
nice
was
job.
so good, Danielle.
Yep,
Great
yep.
job, Danielle.
The only thing that was missing is a new picture with Mitch McConnell's face in it.
Oh, absolutely. Would that not have been good?
Oh, have
my
him at the end of that. So we try to have some fun. I mean, we loved it. That was good stuff. Thanks to Danielle for putting it. How long did it take her? I mean, we have. I mean,
Couple hours.
Alex
Greg
makes
said about 3
videos.
hours.
Chase
About
makes
3 hours.
videos. Yeah. That stuff takes a whole lot
It
longer
does.
than what it seems like. It really does when you put together shorts that are done really well. But I mean, it's been such a serious show topic, and I'm really suffering with the Olive and Oak deal. So anyway,
Yeah, feel sorry for Vic. So when you guys go on your day, definitely be thinking about Joe and his birthday. And poor Vic, he can't go to that restaurant anymore. And it's not that he has to think about it. He can't go
I
there
know.
anymore.
No, I know. If somebody wants to take me, I might consider it. I'll go in.
Wear a dress and say you're a drag queen. Just go and say, hello, I'm Victoria Faust.
People are like, holy shit, he has really lost his mind.
Yeah, put your heels on and say, hello, I don't like Vic either. I don't even
Mary,
like
I have to get
DeSantis.
over it. I know. By the way, it is Projo's birthday. Projo, show the picture so we can show people of you. I sent a picture of you. You better have loaded it so you can pop it up. Projo, there he is.
There's our Joe. There he is. Mm-hmm.
We'll get a camera in front of him again at some point in time.
He's very humble.
Greg says I remind him of Wilson on Tools, or what was the old show?
Oh yeah, no,
Home Improvement.
Oh yeah. Oh, I can see that. For sure.
Well, because you never really see a clear shot of my face. I'm always like obstructed in some way.
Dude, you are. Wilson.
He purposely does that so we could.
It's your birthday. You know what's sad? You don't have
It's your
plans
birthday.
for tonight. I know you've got them for the weekend.
Yep.
You're busy with the kids. You also take care of your parents.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a very, very busy day. Damn, I wonder. Okay, where do you live again? You're out in St. Charles County somewhere?
It's actually Lincoln County, Moscow Mills.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. I'm getting ripped now for
people are ripping you. Oh, poor Vic.
I've
It
even-
is
I've even
overpriced
brought-
steak
you see
at the
this-
Rainbow Bar.
You see this laptop that's been sitting here for days or weeks actually now?
Weeks.
This was the laptop that was going to be for my camera, and I just haven't gotten around to putting my camera on.
Okay, do we have a camera?
There is, right?
Okay, I didn't know if we had one.
Yeah, we've had all the everything here. I just have never.
Come on, Joe.
Come on,
I know
Joe.
you don't like the camera, but once again, it is your birthday. We wanted to celebrate you a little bit. You're a Virgo. You share the same birthday with Chris Tucker.
Oh, there we go.
So there you go. And
Well, maybe next week we'll have my camera working. Tomorrow's a little bit busy, so I don't want to do it tomorrow. But
he's a little bit older. Hey, can you show the conservative beer? There's a conservative beer. Have you guys seen this? I mean, obviously we've talked about Bud Light forever and ever and ever.
Ultra right.
I thought about Lindy when I saw this. I mean, Lizzie.
I would drink that
Ultra
beer.
right.
Lindy would drink that beer too.
Of course she would.
Both of
if
us
you
would.
drink beer.
Yeah.
Projo, would you?
Even if you don't. You should drink that beer.
Yeah, it's a conservative beer company, or they're trying to capitalize as best as they can. I don't know if it's any good. I don't know what beer maker makes it. I just know that the name and the can looks pretty cool when it says Ultra Right. You could serve that when your Democrat friends come over for dinner, when they come over for the barbecue. You can get yourself a little cooler for that, and that's all you have to drink.
You know, you have to give one of those
We got
beers
Ultra Right and
to
water.
your children with a hat that says raised right. That's what I do in my house.
Hey, by the way, I don't know if I sent you a picture of this too, just getting some other updates up last night. I have to give a shout out to the University of Nebraska fan base. They had, and you're going to appreciate this, and I thought about this for you, and did I send you a picture, Joe? If I didn't,
I don't believe so.
I'll send it right now, but you're a volleyball family.
We are.
So you should be able to appreciate this as much as anybody. But the University of Nebraska held a volleyball game outside in their football stadium.
Oh, how fun.
Wouldn't that be pretty cool?
Yeah, I would
It's
love
kind of like
that.
taking hockey to outside rinks as we've seen over the past 20 years or so when that started to come in. Well, this picture we're going to show you, and I sent it to you, Joe, the University of Nebraska had 90,000 fans.
Wow.
Now, their volleyball team is one of the best in the country, and they've been great for a long time. 90,000 Nebraska fans. Their football team has struggled for a long time now after destroying me in college. They won 3 national championships against when I was playing. So I had to go up against their best players. Nebraska's football team is not what they once were, but their volleyball team is fantastic. Well, look at this. 90,000 fans showing up.
Holy cow.
For a volleyball game. Can you imagine?
That would be so exciting.
And I know that we cover a lot of things on the show, but I wanted to give a shout out because I thought that was absolutely amazing to be able to get 90,000 fans show up for a volleyball game. Now, I know there's, it's not Lincoln isn't some, crazy town with tons to do, but it's a good town.
Yeah.
Omaha is a cool town too.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, there's things to do, but they go out and support their volleyball team like that.
Yeah.
So kudos to the Nebraska fans for being able to go out and do that.
Thank you for sharing that.
Pro Joe, what else?
Awesome.
Have we covered everything? What have I missed?
We still have a few videos. We got
what videos do we have before we get out of it? We have some time, which is why I was asking.
And you know what we have to do? What we have to do is we need to have Lindi back in because she is such a spitfire and have her actually in the studio because besides the school things, she has so many great things to say. So we'll get on her coming into the studio. She's great.
Get her to do a show.
Yeah. She could do her own show.
Yeah, well, I know she could.
She could totally do her own
I saw her till all of a sudden we start to have cut ends, which just kind of came out of nowhere.
Does that mean that if we have her in the studio, we'll have problems in the studio?
No,
we won't. We won't have problems.
What videos have we not shown today?
So we have the media blackout for Maui. We have the Democrats roll out red carpet for illegals, and we have Roseanne on Jimmy Fallon.
Oh, you got to play Roseanne.
I agree.
You got to play Roseanne.
I mean, she stole our name, cancel this.
She did. And everybody on this chat line will feel the same as her, I think. Okay. Well, not everybody.
Here's Rosie. I can't believe they put her on Jimmy Fallon.
I agree
as well. If you say that you're a supporter of Donald Trump or
oh yeah, people are mad about that.
Yeah.
But I don't give a
yeah, baby.
She doesn't give a truck. She doesn't. I love it. I love it. That's how you got to feel these days being a conservative is you just got to go with it and not give a you-know-what and fly that flag high, people. Fly that flag high.
We appreciate it. We certainly do. Thanks again for everybody making the show. Once again, 1.28 million views since we started. Half that coming just in the last few months. We're grateful for that. Also, last I saw, I thought we were over 502,000 audience reach. Maybe in the last 30 days, maybe we were higher than that. I don't know.
Yep.
Just let us know. You can send stars to us via Facebook.
We got a lot of stars today. You know, one more thing we need to do before we go, Joe, pop up the what do we call it? The supporters one, the social warriors.
The Patriots page.
Yeah,
Can
the
you
Patriots
pop that up?
page. And this is this week's, because each week, and there is a reason why they're
Sophie Starkey, Shelley Mullenhoff-Smith, Beatrice Saunier, Dave Wenzel, Kathleen Haycraft, Christopher Weathers, Jules Fabian, Peter George, Bryce Little and Sasha Nicole.
Yes. And and how that gets picked is it's not any one platform. It's basically the most interactions over all of our platforms.
In a certain period of time?
In a certain period of time, just in a week. This is just 1 week.
Thank you for that support, by the way. We
greatly appreciate it. It makes the show so fun. You know, when we were talking about statistics, our podcasts, our combined podcasts have now taken over Facebook. Facebook is still our number one social media, but they're neck and neck. And then we have a whole bunch of other ones. So after the show, we have a lot more than doubles. I mean, it just almost triples that people listen after the show.
And or watch.
Yes, they listen or watch. But we're very grateful for the live, the live interaction, because they really help make the show, because we do care what you say. We want to talk about what you want to hear. So
Yeah. And once again, before we get out of here, we say happy birthday to Pro Joe, he's made a couple big transitions in his life.
Yes, he has.
Not only has he lost 175 pounds, which is
and still going.
What is there a goal, or you're just
There's
whatever?
No goal, just healthy.
Do you feel healthy yet?
I'm getting there.
175 pounds sounds pretty damn healthy.
This is the first time I was ever actually able to look in the mirror and actually see a difference. So it's getting there.
What do you mean? Even after 175 pounds?
Yeah, man. The mind is a weird thing, and once you reach a certain point, all of a sudden you just start seeing things differently.
Dude, I bring it up because, man, that's so amazing you're able to do that. So you had that transformation. You had the transformation from being a Democrat to being somebody who's more conservative, which is awesome.
Well, he has had a lot of changes.
And reach out and wish Pro Joe happy birthday if you want. He is on Facebook as well. Says he doesn't have a lot of plans today, but his ray of sunshine is coming up from Florida this weekend. So,
and if you want to go to Joe, you can go to our group page. This is where Joe can interact with you. Is cancel this, and it's the Patriots outreach form.
And if you need to contact me for anything, it's vic@canceltheshow.com. If you have ideas for partners from an advertising standpoint or shows as we build the network, just let me know. And Lizzie, your email?
It's Lizzie with an IE at canceltheshow.com.
All right, guys. Had a great show. We're grateful. We appreciate your help on everything from that standpoint. Eric Johnson in the studio tomorrow. Unfortunately, I have to share some bad news. Kelly's going to join us next week. Kelly Mano, Instagram, Facebook, social media superstar. She comes in with us every other Friday, but she's got to do some like roof work tomorrow or something.
Oh, got some roof work. Yeah.
She's always doing something crazy. I guarantee it'll be on her social media.
And one more thing before we go, we are hiring. We need account executives, and I'm just going to tell you, reach out for that. We're growing. We've got all these other shows, and if you reach out to me or Vic, the commission, I know because I worked at other radio programs, the commission is better here than anywhere. You've got to reach, and this place to work, I'm not kidding you, is fun as hell. It's fun here, guys. So come work with us.
We'll see you tomorrow for another edition of canceltheshow.com. That does it for our August 31st show. Have an awesome day. Talk to you later.